Hi everyone, Gene Stramel, Insurance Planning Financial Services. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Medicare Part D program, the drug program. This time of year, we are starting to get ready for enrollments. People re-enroll, change plans. The dates on that are October 15th through December 7th. If you're coming on to Medicare, you have open enrollment anytime. So if you are going on to Medicare, January 1st, 2021, you have open enrollment for X amount of months, 3 months, to get your Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, Part D programs taken care of. This is for people that already may have a drug program and are willing to look at another program or find another program that fits them. Always been a lot of changes from year to year with these drug programs. We see premiums change. We're seeing drugs change in the way of their ratings. We're also looking at a really big anymore is where you're filling your medications at what pharmacy. The Medicare Part D are going to preferred pharmacies and standard pharmacies. Really the big push is to stay with a plan that your pharmacy is in it as preferred. Medicare Part D started 14 years ago under the Bush administration. It gave the option to people to get help with their drug program. It's been successful, has made a lot of changes over the years for the benefit of the consumer. It helps people afford their medications because without it, I don't see how many people can afford their medications because costs continue to rise higher than inflation. So what do you need to do to enroll in a Medicare Part D? Number one, you're eligible for Medicare Parts A and Parts B. If you're coming off your group employer or individual, you need to find a drug program. What you do is you take your medications to someone qualified to compare that under the Medicare site. The Medicare site will compare numerous plans. It will show you your lowest costs out of pocket using company A, B, or C, and make sure your pharmacy is in the network. So that is laid out for you and you make that decision. You will get enrolled during the open enrollment period, starts January 1, takes you out to December 31st of the same year. And then we have re-enrollment every year. So if you want to look at it, look at a different company, or if your medications have changed, definitely it's very important to look at it. There has been lots of changes in the last couple of years when it comes to Medicare Part D, and then again for 2021, we're going to see numerous changes again, especially on pricing. So that is very important that you have it. We'll talk a little bit about the penalty. Medicare usually notifies you, and they always do, about getting a Medicare drug program. They describe in there that if you don't enroll in a plan when you're qualified for, and you wait 2 years down the line to enroll in a program, maybe I wasn't taking any medications. I don't need a drug program. 2 years down the line, I'm now taking a medications that's $300 a month. I want to apply. First of all, you have to wait to open enrollment. Number two, they're going to go back, Medicare is going to go back and look at how many months you are considered late. So at 2 years down the line, that's a 24 months. You'll get a 1% per month penalty. It's a 24-month penalty, 24%. That penalty stays with you forever. So even if you change your plans once a year, there is a penalty involved and they will add that on top of the premium that you are paying. So I tell people, even if you're not taking anything, buy the cheapest drug program out there to satisfy the federal government. Because most time when people need the drug program, you can't enroll because you're out of your open enrollment period. So it puts a little crunch on some people of having to maybe go to another site to try to get some help paying for that drug, or they have to go to their doctor to maybe get some freebies until they can hold out till they get to that point where they can enroll. The drug program is really divided into different categories. Number one, there's a deductible option. Number two, after the deductible is met, you pay a copay on your medications till you hit a certain amount of retail. You go into what they call the donut hole. They call it the gap or the donut hole. This year, anything you buy during that time period you pay 25%. At one time, 14 years ago, they paid nothing. You had to pay 100% of the medications. So they've dwindled that down now to the lowest level, which is 25%. So if you hit the dollar amount, which is another set aside dollar amount for the gap, once you hit that, you go into what I call a catastrophic level, which is very low cost to the consumer. It's like 5% for a medication. So most of the time, the average consumer doesn't hit the gap, doesn't hit the donut hole, and they're fine. But we do have people that hit the donut holes quickly, especially with some specialty medications. So they hit the gap. You got to learn to control it. You need to somehow sit down with someone that can explain this to you and see other options, how you can keep from staying out of the donut hole, whether it's using generic drugs instead of brand names. There are some things to do. There are also companies also giving help on people that need help, can't afford the medication. There are some programs out there where they will help you pay for that medications along with your Medicare Part D. So the Medicare Part D is very important. Everyone that is eligible should have it. VA, of course, is not eligible. Or I should say they are eligible, but they are not required to have a Medicare Part D. But there again, I get veterans that buy it. There again, if they are out somewhere where they can access VA benefits, they can go to their local store, their pharmacy, pick up their med immediately without having to wait for the VA system to send them something in the mail. So it is important that everybody explore this option of Medicare Part D. It's getting better for the consumer out there, much better than it was 14 years ago. The services got better. The consumers really are benefiting from the Medicare Part D. So if you have questions about the Medicare Part D programs, come see us, come ask us about what we can do for you.